Okay, here we are. It's Wednesday, and as promised, here's a video on chakras. And I'm just going to say before I start that this is going to take dedication and intention on your part. This is something that I've been pursuing for over a year, and I'm going to say it works. It works for me, and that's why I'm sharing it. I'm sharing tools to help you break out of whatever's got you stuck. For me, there's nothing more important in my life than my spiritual relationship with God. There's nothing else. There's nothing else I want to talk about, nothing that interests me more. That's it. That's what makes me tick. And that's why I thought I'd start making videos and share with you. And if it helps you out, great. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to get right into it here and flip the camera around and start talking about chakras. Okay, nothing happened to your screen. This is my paper and pen. So here we go. I'm going to draw a nice little picture of myself. There's my head, a very smiley guy, very, very, very long neck. Look at that. Arms and legs. Okay, so your root chakra is right there at the base of the spine. Okay, that's our root chakra. Now you have 7 chakras. I'm gonna draw them here so you can see where they are. But the one we're gonna talk about today is the root chakra, and it's the one that links our energetic system to the physical world. It is our motivation to eat, sleep, and procreate. It helps us develop personal integrity, self-esteem, which makes us smile, and a sense of belonging, that sense of home that we all want, that sense of belonging. So yeah, that's where the root chakra is located. Now, when I think of all the chakras, I kind of stack them on top of each other here. Makes it look like a snowman, I guess. What's that, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So I say we have energy coming in from God from above, right? So right there at the top of our head, right? And what we want it to do is flow through us and you know, so that we're one with our Creator. And what I imagine is all of my chakras being a pool of water, right? Like this, filling up with energy. And if it's clear and flowing, it spills into the next pool and into the next pool and so on and so forth, just like that. And that's the thing with water, and that's why I picked water, is in order for water to be alive, it has to move. It has to be moving. That's the thing about the Dead Sea. It's dead because water comes in and it doesn't flow out. So that's what we want, is we want energy flowing all the way through the system so we can have a nice, healthy spiritual life. So here we are again with our root chakra, right? And I redrew my guy. And let's just say that this is all blocked up. Our root chakra is all blocked up. And what this is going to do is it's going to leave us with a feeling of restlessness, lack of energy, you know, being lethargic. It can be expressed in anxiety, worry, and panic, which we can all relate to. Depression, constant frustration, resentment, anger, rage, no interest in our own survival or even taking care of ourselves, feeling like we just don't fit in. So you can see my little guy's crying here. So those are all, you know, results of a blocked root chakra. Like we don't belong anywhere. You know, the interesting thing about kids, especially young kids, is they're very good at expressing their emotions. You've probably noticed they go from crying and screaming to extremely happy the next moment. That's because they deal with all of their emotions, all of their feelings, frustrations, whatever it is. They deal with it and they move on. As adults, we've forgotten how to do that, right? We bottle everything up, we put it down. Maybe we learned that from childhood, I don't know. But we don't process emotions. We don't process spiritual things. We just keep it buried down deep, put our head down, go to work, and yeah, we get all these energy blockages that need to be freed up so we can have a nice, healthy, spiritual and physically healthy life. Now, I'm not even going to pretend to know where some of this stuff is at in the body because I'm not a biologist. But I'm going to tell you that the root chakra is associated with the physical body, with the adrenal glands, healthy colon, kidneys, skeletal bones. I can do that. Skeletal bones. Muscles, arterial blood that flows through the left chamber of the heart, carrying oxygen and nutrients to our body tissue. So a clear chakra not only helps our spiritual health, it also helps our physical health. It's definitely associated with some of these things, so it's very important to have this opened up. This is the chakra that gives us a feeling of balance, of being grounded to the earth. You know, speaking of grounding, we all have something that grounds us, whether that be hanging out with friends, a favorite TV show, playing a video game, eating food. Of course, for me, it was food. For the longest time, that's where my comfort came from. If something threw my root chakra out of balance, some kind of trauma, whether it be 2 months behind on the mortgage, or got laid off, or some kind of stress came into effect, that's what I would go. I'd try to ground myself again, because I felt like everything was out of control, and you all know what I'm talking about. So we go to that thing that grounds us, that makes us feel like we're centered again, and for me that was food, and obviously that's an imbalance because I gained a lot of weight, and I'm gonna be making a video about that. I talked about that last week, about spiritual weight loss, so stay tuned, we're gonna get to that. But yeah, so an imbalanced chakra can definitely lead to huge weight gains. So it's definitely very important that we get this thing cleared up. Now, what are some things that we can do physically to clear our root chakra? Well, exercise for sure. That's definitely going to get things moving. The energy's moving in our root chakra. Walking outside in your bare feet. I'm not going to tell you to hug a tree, but definitely walking outside in your bare feet to feel grounded to the earth. The root chakra is associated with the color red, so eating red fruits, tomatoes, cherries, strawberries, things like that. And definitely there's sounds and vibrations that we can listen to that can help break up those energies that are stuck and get everything flowing again. So I'll mention again Insight Timer. It's an app that I use. I've been using it for a very long time. It's free. I haven't paid a cent, and I'm very thankful for the makers of that app. But yeah, you can just type in the search bar root chakra, and you'll find all kinds of sounds that are associated with clearing the root chakra. I'm very big on sitting and listening to music when I meditate. And when I first started this, I started the root because that's the base, and it's the most primal part of me. And of course, I had a lot of anger and rage and things like that. So I knew I had an issue, and I knew I had to clear them out. So I talked before about writing things down, right? Get them out of your head, and let's get them onto paper so we can organize them. And like I talked about in the beginning of the video, I have a good imagination, and I imagined my root chakra to be a pool of water being at the bottom. And if everything else was clear, which it wasn't, but if it was, everything was dumping into the root chakra and nothing was happening. It was just dead, no movement. So in my prayer closet, I would close my eyes, and I would imagine a muddy pool of water I was walking through, and any thought that would come into my mind of anger, resentment, fear, whatever it was, I would pick it up like it was a rock in that pool of water, and I would look at it, and I would have to deal with it. And by deal with it, I mean acknowledge it. Okay, here's this feeling of anger. I want to feel all the anger, why I feel justified in feeling that anger, and then turn it on myself. What am I afraid of? Because anger is just a symptom of fear. So what am I afraid of that's made me angry? So that's what I say. This isn't for the light of heart. This is going to take a lot of work on your end, a lot of self-discovery, a lot of peeling the onion layers back, but that's what we got to do. We got to get in there, and we got to recognize we can't bury these feelings. We need things to be moving. And I promise you, the Holy Spirit is real. He lives inside of you. He's your comforter, your guidance. Listen for his voice. He'll be there with you, okay? So this is very important that we take the time, one thing at a time. Don't be overwhelmed. Whatever thought it is that pops into your head, and deal with that one. This took me months and months and months and months and months just to clear the root chakra before I even moved up to the next one, okay? So let's do that. Like I said, it's going to take a lot of work to get through this. But there are, like I said, physical things you can do too. Exercise, eating red fruits, walking outside barefoot, things like that. What we want to get to is a place where we are present, okay? Because when the root chakra is plugged up, that's where we get to despair. That's where suicide is born out of, that place of despair, that lack of will to live anymore. And I see too much wrong in society today, and that's what I want to do. I want to try to help out. I want to try to show a way. I'm a hands-on guy. You can't just tell me to sit down and pray to God and everything will be good. Like, what can I do? When I first became a Christian, it's like, I'm going to be a pastor, because that gave me something tangible and physical to do. But that wasn't my calling. That was just my need to do something. And I have found a way to do something. something, a way to actually pray, a way to actually work through the issues that I've had so that I can live this life in the world, right? And still have my faith, still have my spirituality intact, to be a healthy, loving person, okay? So that's why I'm going over all this chakra stuff with you guys right now. Also, I'll finish up with just saying that it's super important to have some kind of fellowship. I've never advocated not having fellowship. It's important to have somebody that believes like you, or at least knows what you believe, because things are going to happen in your life. Bills are going to fall behind. Someone's going to get really ill. Dog's going to run over by a car. I don't know what it is, but these are traumas that come into our life, and it's just part of life. But it just wrecks us, right? And it's in those moments, no matter how healthy we are, that we can stop being present. We can just get consumed by whatever the emotion is. So we have to come alongside one another in times like that and say, hey, I'll be the strong one right now. I'll be the strong stake. I think of a tomato plant that needs to be tied to a stake when it gets too large, right? Let me be the strong stake for you right now. You can tie yourself to me and I'll hold you up through this time, and vice versa. When you're down, I can hold you up. So it's very important for us to have fellowship. I hope this answered some of your questions about chakra. Like I said, for me, it was a lot of meditation, a lot of visualization and going through this stuff. For you, it might be a combination of exercise, eating right, meditation, things like that. And I don't know where you are, and that's your business. But these are some things that I did, tangible things that I could do in my everyday life to help myself out, to get better, to get healthy, spiritually and physically. So yeah, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Namaste.